Welcome to the live stream, The Life That Lego Built. Sorry for my voice right now. I just got over a cold and I'm getting better though, which is why I wasn't on Wolfpack Wednesday last week for some of you guys who watched this. So, yeah, we have a really cool show that I'm wanting to kind of bring about into the community. Our first guest is going to be building together. They are a family who they build together. They do a lot with their family, and they just bring a lot of fun and joy to the community. So I really wanted to get them on as one of the first few guests onto the show. This video is going to be about them, about their Lego journey, and how Lego helped build their life as fans of Lego. So I'm really excited to bring them on. Guys, thank you for joining us. But before I get to the comments here, let me bring out building together here onto the stage. There is like a little echoey thing going on. Just going to throw that out there right away. So whenever I ask the questions, I'm going to be rude and I'm going to mute them. And then as soon as I'm done asking the question, I'll unmute them so that they can answer. So please forgive me for that. But we are going to go ahead and add them onto the stage. Guys, welcome building together.
Hi,
How are
thanks.
you guys doing?
We're doing well, man. Good to see you, and I'm excited for this. We've been part of the Lego YouTube community for a few years now, and honestly, we're both introverts, so being able to speak to other people in the community is a lot of fun. So yeah, looking forward to this.
That is awesome. So guys, I have you muted right now. So just so that I can talk. Just to clarify that. But no, that's awesome. I'm very happy you guys were able to join. You guys got back to me right away. So it meant a lot to me that you guys responded so quickly and were able to do this. A couple weeks notice, I guess. But yeah, very excited to do this. Basically going to be asking you guys questions, and you guys are going to tell me about your life. So before we get started though, I'm going to go ahead and get to the comments here, see who's joining us today. We have Evil Sneaker, who is one of my Wolfpack buddies, and he's saying, "What's up, everyone? I've been looking forward to this." Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Sneaker. We have the Jedi Knights Watch in the house. He was here a few days ago, already pumped up, but his comment got deleted. We have Cage in the house. Hope you all are doing well today. What's up, Cage? Thank you for joining. That means a lot. And we have Dilo the Collector. I was invited to the pants party. Yeah, so guys, thank you for joining today. I'm not expecting a lot of people to come in. It's the first show, but maybe the longer we go, the more people that will come join us. We also have Jerry in the house. Hi from the Netherlands. Wow, that's awesome. Thank you for joining us today. So guys, is there anything you guys want to talk about before we get started with the questions?
I say let's dive right in and see where this goes.
Sounds good to me. All right. All right. So the first question is, did you like Lego as a child? And do you recall the moment you fell in love with Lego?
So I have really fond memories of playing with my brother. I didn't actually own Lego myself. My brother had the Lego, but we played together. So I have fond memories. He had this the set I think we built off of the most was this Gold City Junction set, an old Western set that had a general store and a bank, and so we built a whole town around that set. So I have a lot of fun memories from that.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that I first fell in love with Lego when I was a real little kid, like maybe 3 years old. I had a brother that was 2 years older than me. Actually, he's exactly 2 years older than me. We have the same birthday. And so he was into Lego, and I just kind of saw him playing with it, got into it myself, and just loved like putting pieces together and building stuff, mainly castle, town, old like 1980s, 85, 86 era stuff, because that's about when I aged into Lego. So ever since then, I've been pretty much hooked.
So it sounds like you got a lot of inspiration from like building with your family sent from the get-go pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, it was always a family thing. I know I built a lot with my older brother, and Julia built a lot with your brother, right?
Yeah, I have a younger brother, and yeah, so yeah, I hadn't really thought about it like that before, but that's very true.
Yeah, that's awesome. So did you guys end up meeting over Lego, or did you guys meet some other way? Maybe at like a brick con or something like that?
No, we actually met more over music. Actually, we both were on the worship team at our church. So he plays guitar, I play piano, and so yeah, we were in a band together there, and yeah, that's how we
Yeah.
met.
That is awesome. I'm sorry, I got to keep muting when I want to talk, so I'm like delayed. So, but no, that's really cool that you guys met in worship and guys play music. I try a little guitar here and there. Never been great, but I have fun with it. My voice is not good either. So, but I try.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
not a very good vocalist at all. Julia can sing really well, and she's got a lot of choir background, and so her tone is very, very good. I sound more like you're grading something on a. And it's not pretty. So yeah.
so do you guys recall the moment you fell in love? So you guys played and built Lego as a kid, but was there a moment where you like knew like you loved Lego? You had to get more of it. You were just like, I don't know, it really brought family together. Like was there that moment where you fell in love?
I don't know the exact moment. I just remember when I was, I think, 3 years old, maybe four. I had a little like motorcycle repair shop. It was a yellow building. It was a town set that came out in the early to mid '80s, and I don't know. I just remember building it my grandmother's like house on her kitchen table, and like that was so cool that I was building that, and then after that, it was always kind of a quest to try to, save up my own money as a kid. So I had this thing with my parents, an agreement where if I saved up, like depending on my age, a certain percentage of the set's cost, then they would kick in the rest. So if it was like a $60 set, I'd save up 50%. So I'd save up $30. I'd do a lot of dishes, cleaning the house. I would do, pulling weeds from the flower garden. Doing those kinds of tasks and then getting paid, 50 cents here, 35 cents there, negotiating prices depending on how many dishes were needed to be dried and put away, all that. And so I would save up $30, and when I got there, we'd go up to Toys R Us and pick it up. So I don't know, it was always kind of a part of my childhood. So the distinct moment I don't remember, but I do remember just like always being enamored with the new line of pirates or castles or town. It wasn't huge into space, but those themes.
And then, like as a family, I think we couldn't wait to share that with our children. So, our now 12-year-old, our oldest, when she turned 3, you're supposed to wait till 3 until you give them like small parts. So, like for her third birthday, she got her first Lego set, and we were excited to build that with her and help her through that process. So, I think that's when it became a family thing.
Yeah, and it's interesting because thinking about that, our kids were both 3 years old when we got them their first Lego set, which of course very symmetrical with my own story. But I really didn't like. There was a time when I entered a dark age, and that's maybe something we can talk about a little bit later on. But around when I was 12 years old, 12, 13 years old, and that's the age of our oldest daughter right now. And so we're kind of seeing that transition for her as she gets into other things, maybe not being as interested in Lego. So kind of interesting to watch the parallels between our lives and then how our kids interact with Lego.
Yeah, that is awesome. I'm before I talk more about that though, we do have some issues, I guess. A couple people are saying they didn't hear you, can't hear you very well, but then I have some people saying that they can. So I hear you just fine. I also just turned your mic up automatic or manually over here from 100 to 200. So I think we should be good now. But yeah, Jerry says the sound is still not good. Um, I don't really. Do you guys are you guys able to turn it up from where you guys are or
I don't think so.
I I don't know. We're wearing our wireless mics, so should
okay?
should be good.
Yeah, I mean,
Like this.
How fun is that? No, I hear you guys just fine. I don't know. I like I said, I just turned your volume up. Um, uh, Evil Sneaker is saying that he's not sure if the wireless mics are connected. Maybe it is going straight to your phone. Um, but if you guys want to try for a couple of minutes and then come back, and then if anything, we'll just keep going after that. Um, Jerry, I would put it up to 300% if I could, man. But no, I like I said, I hear you guys just fine. Action in the Box says that he can hear you guys pretty good. So I don't know if their volume is lower or what, but if you guys, it's up to you guys. If you guys want to keep going or try to turn your volume up real quick, just let me know.
Yeah, so I just unplugged the mic, so I don't know if you did you hear a difference at all, Rob?
It sounds the same.
Okay.
So
So I unplugged our wireless mic, so we're just going straight to the phone now. So maybe that was causing any sort of issue.
okay.
Okay. So yeah, I don't know. See if they're hearing us better.
Okay. Yeah, I mean maybe it just wasn't connected to the phone. I don't know, but it's not a big deal. We'll get through this. Like I said, some people can hear you. And then I can't really tell because I hear you guys just fine. So it's hard to kind of fix it from here. But I'm gonna go ahead and go on to the next question. Jedi says put it to 1,000%. All right. Here we go, guys. Second question. Did you guys ever go through a dark age? If so, what got you back into Lego?
You want to go first on that one? Okay. Um, yeah. So I don't know. I would say probably when I was 12 years old, so around 1995, I started gravitating a little away from Lego. I was doing more things with friends. I was getting involved in more extracurriculars with school, middle school, high school. And so really in 1995, I kind of like bowed out of collecting Lego. I would still build with Lego. Like if I came home, well, I went to middle school, so it's not like I came home from, like boarding school. But for Christmas break, I wanted to pass the time to Christmas. I wanted to go quickly, so I build with Lego. And then didn't really do much when I was in college. But then when I was in grad school, and we were living actually out in Oklahoma, I got back into Lego, and it was just like we were visiting Julia's family on the West Coast for Christmas. And I like woke up at 4 in the morning. I'm like, I wonder what Lego's up to these days. Like it's been a decade since I've checked in with Lego and what they're putting out there. And so I immediately was like, okay, what have they done with Lego Castle over the past decade? And so I got up at like 5 in the morning because I couldn't sleep and I was just thinking about it. So I went, and found Bricklink and I found, Piron.com and Brickset, and I was able to find like all these catalogs from all the times that I hadn't been collecting Lego. And so it kind of went from there, and I, started bugging Julia. I'm like, hey, could I order like these pieces on Bricklink? And then it was all just kind of like downhill from there, if you look at it from that perspective.
Yeah, I think we've all had like our dark age, through whether it's through college or as we get older in high school and we go on to whether it be sports or just maybe even video games or hanging out with friends or doing whatever, meeting your significant other, focusing more on building a family and then finally getting back into it. But yeah, it's interesting to kind of hear that from everybody in the community, what their dark age was kind of like and what kind of brought them back into the hobby. So yeah, thanks for sharing that. We do have a question from Dilo the Collector. What's the most expensive set in your collection?
It's Rivendell, right?
It is 100% Rivendell. I remember like a little over a year ago, going to the store when they came out. Like it was August of 22. They had the Sanctum Sanctorum and the Lion Knight's Castle. And before that, I was like, oh man, we're never gonna spend $400 on a set. Like that's insane. And then they come out with the Lion Knight's Castle, and we love Castle so much. So many of our videos, especially early on, were about Castle that I was like, I have to do this. And so I spent $400 on the Lion Knight's Castle, and then I was like, that's it. Like that's the max. We're never gonna spend more. And then they drop Rivendell on us, and I'm like, huge Lord of the Rings fan. Love just the idea of Rivendell, especially as it sets up in the movies. And so I was like, all right, I think we're gonna have to get Rivendell. So Rivendell is the most expensive set.
Although that's the most we've paid for a set. There's probably sets in our collection that are worth more than that at this point.
Yeah, that's a good point. So, I mean, like I've got all of the Lego Design modular buildings. So, like the Cafe Corner and the Green Grocer, those are I mean, I know like even used, those are worth a lot more than $500. And I've got the boxes for those as well. So, if we ever like run out of money and we have to keep the channel afloat, we'll just start selling off. We'll come to you first, Rob.
Yeah, I think about having to sell my stuff off all the time. Every time I spend like more than $100 on a Lego set, I'm like, oh, here we go. And then it adds up, you know. But yeah, Rivendell is definitely a set that I wish I had. I actually do not have that set. And I don't have the Lion Knight's Castle either. Those are two sets that I really want. But every time I go to the store and I get something, I end up getting like, like I had a chance to get one of those sets or the Hogwarts Express. So I chose Hogwarts Express because I didn't have much Harry Potter at the time. And yeah, but my next big set that I want is definitely Rivendell. So congrats to that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like like you open up a box and like the angel choir sings out, because when you got this up, like we went on release day and it comes in the big cardboard box, and so like I know like we're legit Lego collectors when you start going to the Lego store and bringing home sets in cardboard boxes. Like, they didn't even bother taking it out of the shipping packaging, right? They're just like, here you go, here's the box. And so I was like amazed, opening it up. I think I had that with the Ninjago City Gardens was another one where I felt pretty legit. And then maybe the Diagon Alley from a few years ago. That one is another one I think came in the box. So like that's a rare thing for us, but it's still one of those moments where it's like you open it up and you wonder maybe it's like full of air from Bill in Denmark. So you like start smelling like wafting the air, and maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm just a dork. That could be it.
Yeah, I speaking of that, I had like a lot of these arcade one-up machines because I wanted to make like this small little arcade room for myself, my kids. If we ever had like a little get together party, family coming over, we had like these, uh 3-4 scale arcades like to play with. So I sold a lot of those when I made the channel because I was like, if I want to make a Lego channel, I need more Lego sets. Like so I sold a bunch of these arcades, and on one trip I got like the Titanic, Hogwarts Express, and then there was another one. I can't think right now, but I got like three pretty good sets, and I'm walking out with them with these huge bags, and everyone's like, I was like, trust me, this isn't my normal paycheck. I'm not, I had to sell stuff to get this, but it is kind of like you seem legit walking out of the store with these big giant bags that you can like spread this wide. So it's really cool.
It's like a weight workout, for scrawny guys like me. You're just there lifting Lego boxes, doing your curls and yeah. I mean, I remember watching that video. I can't remember the third set you got, but I remember like, oh my gosh, he's getting Hogwarts and he's getting the Titanic. Like that's like legit, like But again, like buying those sets for you, for us, like that's not an everyday thing. We're not a channel with 80,000, 100,000, 200,000 subscribers. Like we did a video kind of as a celebration for 3,000 subscribers to talk about how much money we make. And, really at the end of the day, you're talking about, 100 to basically $150 is about what we average per month in revenue from the YouTube channel, which means that, like that can offset costs, and we try to be judicious in terms of when we buy sets and how we buy them. But yeah, it does change, your ability to just go out and spend $1,000 on Lego, which is something that we've never done, and probably won't do for a while.
Right.
Right.
All right. Sorry for that. I forgot to mute you guys there once I started talking, but we have another question from Evil Sneaker. But before I get to that, I do want to address that the movie canon is in. He says, Brick, hello everyone. Thank you for joining us. We're doing some Lego talk today. Hope you're into that kind of thing. But yeah, Evil Sneaker, do you have any pieces in your collection that you designed yourself? Like a set that you didn't purchase at a store. So like a mock build.
Yeah, actually, I tell you what. You want grab? So we'll show you a couple of things that we've made. This one that Julie's going to show you is about a year old. I'm going to go grab Rob. I'm going to give everybody on this live stream a sneak preview of something we haven't shown anybody yet. I think it's pretty sweet. So I'll be right back. But Julie can talk about this little creation right here.
Yeah, so actually, Colin and Autumn, our youngest, she's 10. Last year, I guess she would have been 9. They built this for Thanksgiving last year. So they built a house, and then she loved Cookie Monster, so Cookie Monster's here actually in the house. And he had a Thanksgiving celebration in the house. So we had a really fun video last year for Thanksgiving, and just we're kind of silly about it. And Colin had like these glasses, like he was a double agent or something. It was silly. It was fun. So we just had some good times with that. We've also got a huge castle project going downstairs that's kind of on hold right now just because it's so big. It requires a lot of pieces. But it's kind of permanently built. Um, Colin's just gotten here with our newest creation.
Oh man.
Yeah, so this is the great unveiling. This is what Brick Artemis gets for hosting us on our first ever live chat. So just to preface this, I am a huge Castle fan. We've mentioned that. So what I decided to do is build a modern version of an old classic castle set. So one of my favorite sets that I didn't get until I was an adult was the Guarded Inn. It's a set that was so classic that they actually re-released it as like a legend set in like 2000. So I built an upscale version of that right here. I don't know if you can see it pretty well, but kind of a takeoff of the Lion Knight's castle and some of the architecture, color schemes. Lots of snot work, really cool building techniques. And so we're going to be doing a video, or actually probably a couple videos on that. So one that kind of like tells a story about a castle minifig and trying to get this built, and then maybe do a comparison between the original Guarded Inn and then our 2023 version of that. So we're going to be dropping some of those hopefully by the end of this month and early in December.
Wow, I wish I had talent because I cannot mock build to save my life. I haven't really tried too hard either, but the reason that is because if I go to the brick wall at the Lego store, I don't even know where to start. Like, do I what pieces do I get, you know? So I'm just gonna end up filling up 2 cups and coming home and be like, okay, what can I do with this? I do have some ideas that I want to try. I back in the day and still today, I was a huge Game of Thrones fan. And I really like the wall. So I always thought, okay, first mock build, just an ice wall. Boom, done. Maybe a little elevator in the middle. Maybe work with that. And I've even like want to try to like build my own little house. But yeah, that stuff looks really good. That castle looks awesome. You guys should be on Lego Masters or something.
People ask me that, and honestly, like I have to say, in the effort of full transparency, like I think I have such a huge inferiority complex when it comes to building Lego. Like if you look at what people come up with on Brickmasters, if you look at so many builds in the Lego community, whether you go on YouTube or you go on Eurobricks, ClassicCastle.com, like there's even Instagram. There's so many amazing builds, and you'll have channels or Instagram accounts that basically just like find other people's mocks and just kind of like blast them out there. Like, man, look at what these people are creating. It's amazing. And I'm like, I can't do that. Like, I don't have that skill. I don't have the time. Like, this mock right here took a long time to make, and then I wanted to make instructions for it and put those up on Rebrickable, and so like it just that whole coming up with the idea, building it, putting it in like a Lego Studio for the instructions, editing those. It takes a ton of time, and you got a family, you got kids, you got a job. At the end of the day, you're like, man, maybe I can pump out a decent mock like once every 4 months, and it's just I don't know. It feels like so many people build so much faster, and they're just gifted at seeing a bunch of pieces on a brick, pick a brick wall, and they got 2 cups, and boom, they come up with something that looks amazing, and that's like I've read interviews because Kiara like for a long time like I want to be a Lego designer when I grow up, and I'm like that's awesome. Like you need to be able to see different pieces and then just put them together in ways that are unique and find ways to make an elevator out of unconventional pieces. And I actually think of all four of us, she might be the most talented builder because she does just think about things differently. And I get caught in a rut of using the same techniques from the 1980s and 90s when I was a kid, and it's like, well, that's not really modern anymore. Like that age has passed. So yeah, I have an inferiority complex. I think Julie's actually pretty good at building too. She doesn't give herself a lot of credit, but she can put together some pretty cool things.
Well, and you guys came out with a video a little bit more recent, right? You guys made like some like gardens and you guys had like a competition with the kids, right?
Yeah, so we just went to the pick a brick wall, like we were just talking about, like you mentioned, like we just got a couple cups and we're like, what can we build with this? So yeah, we split up and did a parents versus kids challenge, and um, yeah, we kind of just had to brainstorm real quick, and those things take some time, but not we don't want them to take forever either. So just kind of having fun with it and spending some family time without making it like a huge thing. So um, yeah, like obviously the more um, cool techniques you use and the more refined you make your build, the more and more time it's going to add to that.
Yeah, and I would say, one of the goals of our channel is to try to find unique, creative ways to be involved with Lego with your kids. And, it really is a lot of fun to go to the pick a brick wall, like with one of the kids or both of them. And it's like, what pieces do you want, which versus what pieces I like, and they're drawn to completely different pieces. Like, they're finding the pastels and they're finding like the flower bits and this and that. And I'm like, yeah, I'm looking for the bricks, like where are my bricks at, and like, so if we got our own cups, it's very, very different, but they use the pieces differently than I do. And it's a lot of fun to just kind of sit down. Okay, you've got an hour or 45 minutes to build something from what we got from the pick a brick wall. And like last video that Julia mentioned, we were sitting there bartering for pieces, like, oh, we need some of these bracket pieces to make this work. And we, take 5 years and we'll give you some of this. So it was a lot of fun. I mean, not a lot of people watch those videos, but those are the ones that honestly, like, we have the most fun making because it's the most time together and interactive, and there's a lot of laughter.
So very awesome. I actually like those videos a lot where families kind of get together and have these competitions and kind of make games out of it. It's different. It's not just a review on a Lego set that, it has to be done, reviews, because it's fun. You buy this set, you want to review the set. But at the same time, it's nice to have some different content out there. So I appreciate those videos coming out. We do have another question, and then we really got to get on to some of these other questions that we have actual for the show, because we're only down to 30 more minutes to go. But from Jerry, he wants to know best Lego construction you guys have seen from Lego or another builder.
Wow.
Yeah, you're really much more qualified to answer this. You do most of the building.
Yeah, there are some pretty amazing builders out there. I will say, like, there are some people that really just blew my mind when I got back into Lego. So we mentioned the Dark Ages. When I came out of the Dark Ages, it was like 2006, December 2006. So basically, about 17 years ago. And so I was really into Castle. ClassicCastle.com had some people that were just building amazing things. There's one guy in particular. His username was Sava the Aggie or something like that. He's some guy down in Texas, and he just, like, I mean, again, like early 2000s building techniques, but made some incredible things. And just had a ton of respect for his ability to use the pieces that were available at the time and make really, really cool things. Yeah, so there were some of those. I mean, there have been some mocks that I've seen that just, I mean, some modular buildings. I mean, you go on Eurobricks and see some of those custom modulars. I love modular buildings too. Like, looking at some of those, I just am blown away by how people put pieces together in so unique ways. Makes me wonder what, like, I know what Lego designers can do because they give us like amazing sets. But if you go who was it? Marcos Besa. So he's a Lego designer. If you don't know who he is, check out some of his work. I think he's still there at Lego. At one point, he was on like the Dancing with the Stars version of I don't know if it was the Netherlands or something, Denmark. But anyway, he's the one that designed the Diagon Alley set. He designed the original Disney Castle. But he actually had some mocks of before he was a Lego set designer that just blew my mind. Like one of them was a museum, which is very relevant because we have the new Lego Modular Museum. It was amazing, and looking at that, it's no wonder that people like him become Lego designers because they're so talented. And again, it does give me a little bit of inferiority complex.
Yeah, that's awesome. You got to send me a link to some of that stuff because I would love to see that. But let's go ahead and thank you for that. I don't mean to rush through here, but let's go ahead and go with the next question. Um, we kind of talked about it a little bit, but I want to know kind of an in-depth answer. What makes Lego so special for you guys?
I think it kind of differs for each of us. But Lego, you can be so creative with it. It's a wholesome activity. It can be interactive between the family, so we can create these special family moments. Colin's mom actually does that with Lego a lot. And I guess she kind of modeled it before we even started this channel. Is she would get a set, and we'd come over for like all day Christmas Eve day, and she'd get out a set and we just build it together. So I think that's makes for some nice family moments. Something to do to pass the time where you're actually making something, so you feel more productive. I think when you're doing that.
Yeah, and I also love it. My kids use it differently than we did, or do we that we do now, right? I mean, our kids will when we started the channel, like they love Lego. Now we'll build something like we did that challenge with the pick a brick wall, and then when we're done with the challenge, they'll go to their Lego area and start building. And so it's great to see the inspiration that comes from them building with us to then having all these ideas that then they go over to their own collection and start building. And so just being able to have that ability to watch our kids develop. And I love the fact that like kids when they build with Lego, they're not in front of a screen. It's such a nice way to use your brain to solve problems and to build coordination with whether it's hand-eye coordination or just thinking about different ways to attack problems. I just think it's a great toy that adds a lot of depth to who we are as human beings. So that's one of the things that I appreciated when I was a kid and today.
Yeah, I love those answers. And speaking of like, I have two boys. I have a 6 and a 3-year-old. One's going to be 4, and when they are into Lego, it not only brings the family kind of closer together because you guys have something in common, but it actually brings my passion out a little bit more for Lego because it's something to kind of relate to with your kids. And you're like, well, they're building this. Now I can start my set. And then you bring this big set out and they're like, can I build that one? It's like, I would love you to help me. Sure, help me find this piece or something like that. Because with a 3-year-old, he'll take a piece and hide it and think it's funny and all that stuff. But no, I love those. I love those answers. I'm gonna go ahead and go straight to the next question then. And would you rather build solo or with someone else? Now you guys are building together. I understand. But are there times where there's like a moment where it's like I just want to kind of get into my own space, kind of breathe a little bit, nothing against anybody else, but just kind of build my own thing real quick late at night or something like that.
I mean, I'd still rather build with people, but there are moments when it's like, if all four of us are building together, and it's like, okay, I'm helping Autumn find a piece, and he's helping Kiara do whatever, and it's like, okay, this is starting to get tedious. Like, I want to just do the building. But still, yeah, I still like doing it together.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's different times where I love to build with other people. Like if I were building with my kids, or I remember years ago we got um, uh, our nephew a set. It was like a pirate set from like 2009. He was a little kid then. Now he's in college. But like I would just be there with him and like hand him the pieces or just kind of like not oversee, like just help him build. And it was kind of interesting because like a lot of people are like, oh, when an adult builds a Lego set with a kid, they oftentimes like jump in and start building themselves instead of letting the kid do it, right? So I like that part of it, but I also, I mean, there are times, Rob, like you get a new set. For me, it's always like the modular building. I would get that for my birthday because my birthday is January, and so January 1st rolls around, the new modular comes out, and I'm like, this is my birthday gift, and it's actually like my birthday and Christmas gift, right? So like you all had your time with Christmas gifts, and it's like this is my time, like there are moments where it's like the kids like want to jump in and then like you said like scramble up the pieces and like try to put, oh, that's really cool. Can I build? I'm like, yeah, but that's my favorite part of the set. So it's tough sometimes to want to always build together, but at the end of the day, like if you're spending time with your kids, I think it's a win.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that 100%. It is nice when everyone's sleeping and you can kind of just like it's like a mental thing, right? Like to clear your head a little bit, you can think about whatever. Like for example, I always say this in a lot of my videos. I like to listen to music or something or while I'm building from that movie. Like for example, the Home Alone house. I'll give that example again. When I was building the Home Alone house, I listened to that intro theme like 100 times or more while building, and it just got me in that Christmas mood. And it made me want to watch the movie with my family and all that. But at night when I was building that, it really put me into like almost like another world, and I could really clear my head, whether it was stress from work or other things in life. So no, I love those answers, but at the same time, like you guys said, it's amazing to build with your family, and that's what I love about your channel so much is that you express that and make it fun. So let's go to the next the next question here. There's a question here. Does your family share the same passion? But obviously yours does. So I want to ask you that. But what got you guys to start YouTube and your social media journey?
So it really was a pandemic thing. Colin had his eye on YouTube channels for a while and just thought it'd be really cool. So when the pandemic hit, we had a lot of time at home and we had an opportunity to start something new and model for our kids, working hard at something, trying something new, being, kind of putting ourselves out there a little bit, taking a risk. And so we wanted to model that for our kids and just take that opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, Rob, I'm sure you had a similar experience. Like you watch videos, and I'm not trying to like knock anybody that has like a large YouTube channel, but oftentimes like you watch a video, a review, and you're like, I could do better than that. Like not in terms of the video editing, because I'm not a video editor, neither is Julia. I mean, we edit our own videos, and so we've learned a lot. But just in terms of like the content, it's like, oh, that was really repetitive, really redundant. You didn't address certain things that I think adult fans of Lego would like to hear about, and so I was like, okay. And then sometimes you watch people and they build, and this is part of my own like maybe being too judgmental, but I would watch people build something and be like, well, that wasn't that good. Like I could build something better. And of course, I didn't realize just how much time it takes to build something for a YouTube channel. Like if I'm just sitting there on my own building, and it takes like 3 months to just like put together the first level of a library, cool. But if you're like sitting there with a production schedule and you're like, I need to build something once every couple of weeks, like you have to, there's the trade-off, right? Like you have to think about all that. So when we started the channel, I was thinking, oh, I could do better than them here or there, or I don't think there's a whole lot of people doing this. And of course, part of it was we didn't realize just how many small YouTube channels are out there, because YouTube doesn't always kick those videos your way in the algorithm. Like you'll get those big channels recommended to you, and you won't get the small ones unless you start watching other small channels. And so once we started the YouTube channel and we were a small channel and we started investigating some of that stuff, really it kind of opened our eyes to just how much was out there in terms of Lego content, which could be a little overwhelming. But once we started, hey, we're introverts. Let's dive into this, see what happens. And at the end of the day, like here we are, what, 2.5 years or so later, and we've got 3,400 subscribers, which just blows my mind. Like how many of those people like watch our videos and think that we have something intelligent to say.
Yeah, that's amazing. You guys are doing really, really, really well. I my goal, and I know there are some people out there that are like numbers aren't everything, like do it for fun, but we all look at the numbers. We nobody can act like they don't. We look at the views. If one of the videos has like 80 views in like a week, we're like, what did I do wrong? We all care about that. And uh for me, when I first started, my goal was about 1,000 in the first year. And I think I got to like 930 something in the first 6 months, surprisingly. And all of a sudden I came out with that Mighty Bowser video, which was ridiculous. And it blew up. And I know I wasn't the only one that did it, but I did it in a time where not too many people had already done it. I had the as soon as I saw that movie, I was like, I got this idea. And then I saw somebody else do it already. I was like, okay, well, I better put mine out there before it becomes this big thing. And it looks like I copied everybody. And I got like 1,000 views at first, and a week later it just blew up. And then so it's weird how that happens. And but that's what this stream is all about. I want to bring out, smaller channels like us that are growing, and we're doing really, really well. And I want people to kind of understand who we are, and that there is a broader community out there. It's a lot bigger than what people think, and a lot of other kind of content out there. So again, thank you guys for coming on. Is there anything else you guys want to say about what got you started on YouTube?
On YouTube. I mean, we're with you on, like, it's amazing. We both had the same goals. Like, our goal was to try to get to 1,000 subscribers at the end of the first year. It took us longer than that. It took us like 20 months or so. But we didn't have a video that blew up like your Bowser video, but we did have a video a year ago. It was kind of like a detailed breakdown, reaction to the jazz club that just like I went to bed one night and we had like 870 subscribers, and then like 2 days later we had 1,000. It went like so quickly, that last little hurdle. Like, we were thinking, okay, like maybe by February, when we hit the 2 year old mark of our channel, we'll get to 1,000. That's a year behind schedule, if you will. And then just like it blew like so fast that we didn't, because it hit during the holidays, we didn't have time to make a like, hey, here's a thanks for 1,000 subscribers video. Like, it was just crazy to see how quickly sometimes videos just they take, and there's no rhyme or reason to it. Like, I mean, you can dive into the numbers, and I love, and Julie would say, like, I love numbers. I mean, I use numbers all the time in my job and all that stuff. And I'm like, I don't know what we did differently. Like, it's the same style, same editing that we did before. It's the same kind of breakdown, the same organization. The thumbnail has like a lower click through rate, the watch time, and it just blows up, and 30,000 views, and you're like, okay.
Yeah, it's like you do all this work to try and grow your numbers, and then the one video that you don't expect, it's like, oh, well, okay. You just got to be patient. But real quick, we have Action in the Box saying a fantastic experience this building journey with theme song. We got Brian in the house. He is actually the owner and creator of the Maji cases that I did a video on with Lego going in Maji case, Maji space, I should say. So thank you, Brian, for being here. He is a huge supporter. Love him in the community. He's very excited that there's a Lego live stream. I know he tunes into a lot of the Hot Toys live streams, because the Hot Toy community really brings in those Maji cases and loves them. So happy to have you on. He says, "How can I miss this, Lego man?" So yeah, thank you for being on, Brian. That means a lot. He said he's gonna share the stream to all the Lego guys. So that's a little nerve-wracking, but let's do it. All right, let's go on to the next question here real quick. Let's go to this one. What are 3 Lego dream sets you want to add to your collection?
You get to go first.
All right. So first of all, I asked my 12-year-old this question, and she had very clear ideas. I'm like, I don't know, maybe this or that. She's like, oh, this, and this. She knew like right off the top of her head. So the Jurassic World gate comes with this big T-Rex Rampage, I think it's called.
Yeah.
So she loved that T-Rex. So that one was like her top, like for sure. And then the Ninjago Legacy Dragon. Which one is that one called? I forget the name of it now, but it's like this blue and purple dragon. And then she really likes dragons. The other dragon is from the old elves line that they used to have, that was targeted to girls. So there's a fire dragon. So those were her top 3. So she was very clear. Like, she knew exactly which ones she would keep.
Some dreams.
Oh, dream sets. Dream sets. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Go.
Dream sets. So one that I'm hoping to get soon is the Viking Village. That one looks really cool. And then the 2 that I've kind of seen in the past that I liked were the grand piano, because I play the piano, and the pickup truck. I've always really liked that pickup truck.
Yeah, and we have a friend who has the pickup truck, so every time we go to his house, like I see Julia kind of eyeing it from the corner like the room, like, okay, I see what's going on here. Um, I decided to break this down a little bit differently. I'm gonna choose one dream set that I would love to get from each kind of era of my Lego collecting history. So the first one would be when I was a kid. There was, I think it was released in 1984, this cargo center that was on two base plates. It was a town set that had garage doors, and as a kid, I was a sucker for any Lego set that had garage doors. So it had the garage doors, plus it had these cargo doors that would like slide left to right, which just blew my mind in the 80s because I'm like, I didn't know you could do that with Lego. So that's always stood out to me. Um, a set that I really wanted when I got back into Lego that I never ended up buying, that I regret not getting, was the Lego Market Street, which was a fan designed modular compatible building by a guy by the name of Eric Bach, who recently like passed away like shortly after the set came out. And basically, it was like a precursor to the ideas sets where you could take, it was called Factory, and you could build like the selection of bricks. You could build something. So they wanted to highlight what you could build from this selection of bricks, and he built a cool looking modular-esque kind of building that didn't quite have the same standards as a modular building, but still would fit into the modular street. And so Jamie Berard actually created a mini modular set that included that as kind of a modular. So it's an official, like Lego will tell you it's a modular building. It's not Lego designed, it's fan designed, but I never got that. And so that's one that I would want. And then the third one, I'm going to have to go like from modern day. I got to go the UCS Millennium Falcon. Like I like Star Wars. I don't buy a lot of Star Wars sets, or actually I've never purchased one for myself. And I keep anticipating buying one, but I love the Falcon, and an $850 Falcon is a steep price, but it's so big and it's so cool. I'm like, I would love to have that one. So those are my three dream sets.
Yeah, those are awesome. I love the Millennium Falcon. My nephew who got that about a year ago. I was really jealous, but it was his birthday. It was either birthday or Christmas. Him and his girlfriend went half and half on it. And they're no longer together. And I'm like, dude, you got a UCS Millennium Falcon. That's cool. So at least you got that. But he hasn't even finished it yet. I'm like, you got to finish that. He's about halfway through with it. But yeah, it's really cool what it's looking like so far. And I wish I had that as well as the AT-AT. I really want that UCS set. But we have Brian said where is it here? The new Marvel Tower for sure. So it looks like he's really excited for the Avengers Tower. Yeah, very, very cool stuff. Is there any set that you would want them? It's actually a question, but I cannot find it on here. I think it's right here. Is there a Lego set you wish Lego would release or maybe even re-release, like do like a 2.0 on or something like that?
A year ago, I would have said something Lego Castle, but they did that with the Lion X Castle. And I think based on some of the rumors I've seen, another set that I would have suggested is the Medieval Market Village from like I think 2009, which is a great set. It was a great deal when it came out, but it sounds like they're going to be redoing that one. Dream set like or not dream set, but like that I wish they would release or re-release. I think one of the things to think about would be what maybe movies or licensed products would be out there that might be intriguing. And I don't know if I have a good answer for that. I think more castle stuff, more pirate stuff. It's always really good. But they just did the Eldorado Fortress. I mean, they keep stealing the things that I'm like, oh, it'd be great. Like they just did the Black Sea Barracuda through Barracuda Bay. Like, what if they did the Eldorado Fortress? And then like, boom, a year and a half or 2 years later they did it. So they keep poaching my ideas.
All right. Is there what about we have Santa Brian says Santa Fe. So that would be really cool too. I always thought the fish market. I actually missed out on the fish market set. It's one of the cooler sets. I can't spend that money right now though for something, that what is it like 400, 500 something dollars. I could be wrong, but the last time I looked, it's pretty steep. And I'm like, for that many pieces, I can't do that. But I did do a crazy thing with the Stranger Things set because I really wanted that. But that was something more for family because we have that connection with the show and everything like that. But yeah, those sets that are retired, it's hard to go back to sometimes, you guys. Like it's tough.
Yeah, I mean, I think if I had to look back at one of the best gifts that I ever got, it was the cafe corner for my parents. Like in 2000 and so Christmas 2007. So the cafe corner came out in March of '07, and it blew my mind. I'm like, I didn't know you could do that with Lego, but I was a grad student. I didn't have the money for it, and it was only 140 bucks, right? So, um, it was something that was kind of affordable for some people. But as a grad student, Julie was teaching in Oklahoma, which, like at the time, they were ranked 50th out of 51 states in Washington D.C. for teacher pay. So like that wasn't really a set that I could afford. But my parents got for me for Christmas. I wasn't on my Christmas list. Like they were just like, we thought you would like this, and so they got it, and I was hooked on modular buildings after that. And so because of that, I've got all those early modulars. I've got, like I said, all of the Lego design modular buildings. But if you wanted to go back and buy those, the prices are absolutely absurd. Like I was doing a deep dive. I did a video a couple years ago on the Green Grocer, and like just buying some of the pieces are just would add up to more than the set cost when it came out. In adjusting for inflation, like 1x2 bricks with grooves that are sand green cost a lot of money. The 1x8 bricks in sand green were like $5 a piece, and there's like 45 or 50 of them in the set. Just start adding it up, and it's like just to get like two of the groups of pieces would cost $300. It's just insane. So that I would say like so fortunate that I got that cafe corner that hooked me into the modular buildings, and I started collecting them then.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of, we have Brian saying that he has some sets that he bought for like 50 bucks and now are $700. It's crazy. But going off of that real quick, we have 10 minutes left. I want to ask a couple more questions. If we go a little over, that's okay too. But going off of that, I do want to ask, do you guys invest in Lego at all? I don't do much investing. There are a few sets that I haven't opened thinking that they might, be worth something in the future, but I don't go and buy like 5 sets of the same thing and thinking, oh, this is going to be worth money when it retires.
Yeah, we're pretty much the same. We don't really invest. We don't have an intentional plan for that. There have been a couple sets we've got and not opened that maybe in the future will be worth something, but it's not really a passion of ours.
Yeah, I've thought about that. Like one of my early ideas for like doing more with Lego. So like part of the impetus for creating the channel was okay, if we can monetize the channel, not that we're going to make a living off of a YouTube career, but rather just offset the cost of buying more Lego. Because like I'd love to get more pieces. I'd love to be able to build some different things, some more things. And so one of the original ideas I had years ago was, what if I did like a brickling store? And I did some research on it, right, where you figure out like how much money you make for, the margins are pretty narrow. And what I found was that your best bet for making money that way is to buy, especially Star Wars sets, as soon as they come out, sell the minifigs. That way you can recoup the cost of the set just through the minifigs. And I started thinking of like all the logistics that would take to happen, right? Like you'd have to go out on release day, buy the set, and then go through all of that process that was just unpredictable with a full-time job, right? Like how do you buy sets? I'm a professor, so I have to be in class. I can't be like, all right, guys, we're going asynchronous today because I got to go buy Lego sets. Like it's just not a good professional move, right? So, like that part. Julia mentioned we do have a little bit of a stash of sets that we haven't opened, but a lot of them are gifts with purchase. So like the Amelia Earhart, we have that gift with purchase that we haven't opened. So some of those that might be worth something down the line that weren't available for regular retail stores that just kind of are collectible, or they have a minifig that's exclusive. That's where I typically find a lot of sets gain value are from the minifigs, especially Star Wars and Marvel, the old sets. But then just some of the ones that become classics, like that the old fishing store is just it's a great set. And we have that one, Rob. We have that one. It's amazing. So if you did pick it up at some point, you wouldn't regret it.
You're lucky once again. That's one set that I might have to get at some point. My dad is a huge fisherman, and we have our history fishing together and stuff. So that's one set that might mean something as well. Yeah, I wanna just go a couple more questions here. Let's see. What are some future projects that you'd be willing to kind of talk about? I know that you showed us one of your mock builds, which is amazing that you did that for us here on the stream. But do you guys have anything else that you guys would consider talking about coming up in the pipeline?
Yeah. So we have. So a friend of ours gave us a customized kit to light up your massive Hogwarts. So we have the big Hogwarts, and so we're going to be doing that as one of the videos. Might actually put the kids on that to see how they like. Hey, just do this. We'll kind of record it off to the side or something like that. But maybe do a small review. Have them work on that or something because I think they'd be interested in that. I do have behind me here, if you don't mind. This isn't an exclusive because I've showed it before on the channel, but a work in progress. I love modular buildings. So I love music, and so I'm working on a custom modular music shop. It's going to be modeled after a shop called Woodsies in Kent, Ohio, which is a home of Kent State University. And so I've been there a number of times, and I love music, so I wanted to build a music store. So working on that. There's one piece on it that's this. I'll try to peel it off here for you. It's hard to see, but it's this big curved window that is very rare. The last time it appeared in a set was the Ninjago City, the original Ninjago City years ago. And so, like, it's a $9 piece on Bricklink that is hard to find. And I was able to snag one for about $4.50 a couple of weeks ago. So now that I've got the second one of those in, I'm going to be working more on that probably in the first part of 2024, working on custom modular music shop.
That is awesome. Once again, I need to start my mock building. I'm gonna reach out to you guys, send you guys an email or something, and kind of ask how I like give you an idea and where I should start, and then maybe go from there. Maybe I can learn a little bit from you guys, and then kind of teach myself some things as well. But I got a fun one for you guys before we end it. Um, let's say you are turned into a minifigure. What are you wearing, and what is one accessory that you come with?
I'm gonna wear a sweater because I'm always cold, and a skirt, and hold a teacup. I love tea.
She does. I'll go with two minifigs. One would be kind of what I'm wearing now, jeans and a hoodie, because this is like what I prefer to wear, just on casual stuff. If it's Professor me, I'm wearing khakis and a button down. Accessory would be I'm gonna go with one of those original guitars, like when they came out with electric guitars, actually modeled after the Fender Stratocaster, which I play a Strat, so I would go with that. Interestingly enough, I don't have the Ideas Fender set. It's something I always want to get, but Rob, as you know, like when you're on a budget and you've got a YouTube channel, like you got to balance what you want to get sometimes with what makes more sense for the channel, and so that's one that kind of fell through the cracks. But I would be holding, electric guitar, rocking out.
Let's
Let's
let's go.
let's go.
We have Brian. He said that he'll choose R2D2. I think he means like as his accessory, like which would be really cool to come with R2D2. So very, very cool. Yeah, I just thought that was a fun little question to kind of finish off. Uh this again, this is just a quick little hour long live stream that I want to do. Hopefully I can do this maybe a couple times a month with different streamers. And luckily I was able to get building together as the first guest, and couldn't be any more happier with you guys being here. Thank you guys so much. Learned a lot actually. I learned that you guys really know your history with Lego too, which is awesome. It's not just what's out now and what's big, and knowing who's going to win or who you want to win on Lego Masters or something. You guys really know history, which is really cool. And I love that about the two of you. So also love the fact that you guys really bring your family in. I actually want to kind of do a video with my oldest, with him talking about our Lego sets and everything, but I just don't know how to do that. He's very antsy and likes to move a lot. And I'm sure you guys know the same, um, but yeah, just a lot of fun. I appreciate you guys being on. Is there anything you guys want to add? Maybe say something about your channel, maybe a quick little plug or anything like that.
You want I mean, yeah. So we're building together. We try to put out 1 to 2 videos a week. We do, like Rob said, I love history. One of the things that I love to do when we analyze sets is I'm a very analytical person. So if you like, reviews that kind of get into the nitty gritty of sets, building techniques, the kinds of pieces that are there that will be available for you to mock with, those are the kind of things that we do. We also do a lot of little build challenges, probably once or every month or so with the family. So we always want to include more than just the two of us. We just started a series called Off the Cuff that we're going to do that we do once a month, where we let you as watchers pose questions in the comments, then we'll answer them. So those are the kinds of things that we like doing. And yeah, I mean, just have fun with Lego. It's a great hobby. And I gotta say, R2D2 is a great accessory if you had to pick. We all know, honestly, hot take of the day, R2D2 is the real hero in the original Star Wars trilogy. I'm gonna say
Yes, so true. We Brian's asking what's the channel name, wish to follow. I did respond to them. So expect a follow from him, which is really awesome. A very huge support. Also from Evil Sneaker, awesome to see a couple share the same hobby. Keep bricking. So very awesome to see you guys share that hobby. Anything else you guys would like to say?
Well, I guess one thing we like to do, because we are more family based, we also have another purpose as well that we hadn't mentioned, and that is providing clean water to rural Hondurans. Colin goes every year to Honduras and works with these people out in remote villages, and goes with a medical team actually that treats a lot of issues that people are having. And so a number of years ago, they were like, if we could just have clean water, a lot of these medical issues wouldn't even be an issue. So he and a few other people got together and started providing filters for the people in these villages. But that costs money, and to do it really well and have follow up and training and everything costs money also. So proceeds from our channel, we take 10% of our proceeds and send it to these filters. And we also have occasional videos where the full proceeds go to it. So if you do go to our channel and can look up the clean water video, and watch that, all proceeds will go to those filters.
Yep, agreed, 100%. It's about more than just us. It's about the Lego community. It's also about trying to help people that need it, and so we're really passionate about doing that as well. So, good call.
You guys seriously couldn't be any cooler. And what's kind of funny is I didn't know that until this morning. I was like, I better do some searching on some older videos because I've only seen like maybe the last, I don't know, year and videos here and there from you guys. So I wanted to like dig back, and I saw a video that you guys posted about doing all that. And I think that's an amazing thing that you guys do. And I think more people need to do it. So I give you guys a lot of kudo and not that you're asking for it, but praise as well. And I think that's amazing that you guys do that. So keep doing that. And if you guys want, I can maybe add a link, which I forgot to do, to your channel in the description below. And then maybe if anybody else wants to support you guys in that journey, maybe direct them that way as well. Guys, thank you once again for coming onto the show. Thank you guys, everybody in the chat, for sticking around. We were kind of around between 7 and 10 all day, or this whole hour. So thank you guys for sticking around. Yeah. So once again, this live stream is basically what your channel is called, Building Together. So this is, for all of us to really build together as well, and come together and let everyone know who we are and kind of what our channels stand for, and just learn a little bit of fun stuff about us. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you guys know when the next live stream is coming. I believe the 19th is the next one. I will put more information on my Instagram page, as well as the community link down below as well. So until next time, guys, keep bricking. And I will turn us off.